Congratulations! Your hard work is paid off. You just got a call or an email from the agent you've been wanting to meet. This could be a crazy, great turning point in your acting career. Just think about it. Auditions, roles, bookings, here we come. Wait, what are you supposed to do at this meeting? What are they going to ask? What if they don't like you? What if you blow it? This could be a career killer. Okay, hold on. Don't let this get you down. Let's talk about this in a calm, rational way. You've come to the right podcast video. I'm here to help. My name is Jeffrey Dreisbach, and this is Casting Actors Cast. Well, hello and welcome to today's episode of Casting Actors Cast. I'm Jeffrey Dreisbach, casting director with the McCorkle Group in New York. How are you? I hope you like that little dramatic read introduction. I kind of, think that was really interesting, maybe? Maybe that's kind of the internal monologue you have. We're going to talk about what to say, how to do an agent meeting, because guess what? That's going to be something, if you haven't had that already, you are going to as a professional actor. So we're going to get right into that in just a moment. This is that moment of the podcast where I just want to thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time with Casting Actors Cast, you've come to a really cool place, I think. This is where actors come together. They get information, they get advice, they get support from me as a casting director and former actor. I do my very, very best to give you information that you're going to find really useful, I hope, and really practical, hands-on kind of advice. So you can find out more about Casting Actors Cast by going to the website, castingactorscast.com. There's a little form there that says dive into the talent pool, and that simply means you will be given an opportunity to download a free book called Conversation Pieces Out of the Studio, the voiceover workshop for professional actors. There's also some show notes from previous episodes called Jeff's Jots. Also, there's a free video. It's about 20 minutes. It's a YouTube video all about casting directors' secrets, what they don't want to tell you. You know what? I'm going to tell you. So that's also free. The whole point is that you can join this great community. I get your email address. But by the way, I don't do anything with that email address. On occasion, I might send out something that I think might be of value to you, but I'm not a spammer at all. I just like the idea of a whole community of actors working and understanding what it is to be a professional in the business. Like I said, I do my best to try and give back what wasn't given to me when I was a BFA student turned actor, but it's also there for you to find some support. So you can check out the website. I also do a lot of teaching, so you can find out where I might be teaching. I'm doing a lot of virtual teaching now, so please do check that out as well. And just a quick couple of shout outs to my good friends at Actors Connection. They continue to really be so great at providing online classes with casting directors, agents, professionals in the business. There's website seminars. There's seminars all about the business of the business. Also, auditioning for pilot season, auditions in general, from stage to screen auditioning, which is a class that I teach. So I invite you to check that out coming up in April. I'll be doing some work at Actors Connection as well. So do check them out, actorsconnection.com/New York. And then finally, I just want to bring your attention to the National Monologue Slam happening in the month of March. And I'm looking at my calendar here, and it is going to be taking place on the 30th of March, which is a Tuesday evening. But there is a a free place that you can go on the 28th. We're going to be doing a question and answer period, sort of get you a little bit excited about what to expect at the Monologue Slam. You'll meet some other professionals there, and that's taking place on Sunday, the 28th. So listen, all you have to do is go to nationalslam.com, get all the latest information. I'm so thrilled that they continue to ask me to judge some of these monologues and be part of the slam, and it's just the greatest time. I think you would have a really, really fun time because although there's a competitive element to it, it is just simply not about, winning the prizes. And there's a really cool list of prizes, by the way. It's really much more about, once again, the community coming together, trying to have a common purpose, and that is get better, do better with your monologue. So I think you might find a great time with that. Okay, that's all my promotional stuff. Sorry that took so long, but we got to do some housekeeping every once in a while. So please go to castingactorscast.com. Also, if you want to leave me an email, castingactorscast@gmail.com. I'm still looking for video submissions for upcoming episodes. So if you have a self-submit video that you want to send to me, that's the place to go do that. castingactorscast@gmail.com. And then finally, I invite you also to please do me a favor, would you? If you'd like to leave a review on iTunes or wherever you're hearing your podcast, it means so much to me that you do that. And then also the YouTube channel, which continues to grow, although I have to admit it's growing very slowly. And so I would really love some support on YouTube as well. In a way, you get to sort of see me talking about what we're talking about, and you get to see what I look like, and maybe there's some body language that can help you a little bit more. So if you are getting your podcast fix, and that's fine, and I'm grateful for that, but also don't forget the YouTube channel is there as well. It'd be really great to see if we could grow that also. Wow, I kept on saying that's all we're going to do, and then I keep on going on for more. It just kind of grows and grows and grows. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about the subject at hand, shall we? I've got some tips that I want you to think about as we discuss what it is to get that meeting and what is the agent actually looking for when you have a meeting with a rep, whether it be an agent or a manager. Now, understand that the relationship between an agent and an actor is very, very precious. And you're going to hear me say this more than once. It's a lot like a marriage. And so basically, if you get an appointment with an agent, whether it's on Zoom or, fingers crossed that we're going to be over this COVID virus coming up within the next 6 to 8 months, if not sooner, then maybe there'll be a person-to-person meeting going on. That would be really, really amazing. But now, even if it's a Zoom meeting, there are some things that you should know in advance so that you can feel more confident and more prepared for that meeting. So if you get a call from an agent who wants to meet with you, the first thing I suggest that you do, number one on the list, is pretty obvious, but know who the meeting is with. Do your research. Find out about that agency. You can find out perhaps some of the actors that they represent. Perhaps you can find out how large that agency is. Maybe it's a boutique agency with 2 to 4 agents working on it. Maybe it's a larger sized agency. There are definitely advantages and disadvantages depending upon where you are in the industry. But do your research. Check out their website. Now, by the way, since we're on this subject, don't let the quality of the website determine whether you think it's a quality agent or not. Some of the best agents have 0 websites. That's because why? They're busy being agents. They don't have time to put together websites together. Conversely, I have seen not that reputable agencies have really slick websites promising you all kinds of things. And I would definitely want you to stay away from those kinds of representation people. So know who the meeting is with. Do your research. Now, the second thing I need you to know is what took place that led you to this meeting. Did they see you in a performance? Did they hear from a casting director saying you were really an excellent actor and you should be seen or heard or met with? Those kinds of referrals are very, very strong. But if it's a call out of the blue, maybe because you've launched a website, or maybe you put yourself on Actors Access or Backstage.com and you're in their database, maybe there's some trolling going on. So I would hate for you to get that kind of a phone call. So figure it out. There's no reason for you not to ask, well, how did you learn about me? How did you get a hold of me? Unless for example, they saw you in a show, or maybe you did a reading online, and maybe a friend of yours has the same agent and recommended you. So you just don't know, but it's important that you find out what happened that led to that meeting. That makes sense, I think. And so number 3, what questions can you anticipate? So here are some questions that you might get from an agent or manager when you have that sit-down meeting. Here it is. You know what's coming, right? The dreaded question, tell me a little about yourself. Oh, man, I know. Everybody hates that question so much. And there's gosh, I can't remember exactly when, you guys, but I have a Tell Me a Little About Yourself podcast. So I think it's called something like The Dreaded Question. So please do yourself a favor. If you're watching on YouTube, then I'm definitely going to put it right here. I'm going to be slugging where that video is, so you have a place to go after you've watched this video, because that's definitely a question. And here's the thing. As far as an answer is concerned, it's not that you have to be funny or entertaining or, any of those things, but ask yourself, why do they want to know that question? Well, they want to get to know you a little bit better. So if you are prepared with an answer to that question, make sure it feels spontaneous, right? It's not something that you've rehearsed necessarily. But they just want some insight into you. So telling a little bit about your background. How did you get to where you are now? So it's about your educational background, maybe a little about your family, maybe you were born in wherever. And so it's just, again, additional information so that that agent or manager can get to know you a little better. Another question that you're going to be asked is, what kind of roles are you looking to do? Are you looking to stay with theater, perhaps? Or maybe you're interested in going into film and or television. Maybe you really are not sure. Maybe you've been trained in theater. Now you're looking for maybe some inroads to film and television auditioning, television work. So that is a question that you should be prepared to answer. For example, I know a lot of actors who have a lot of great theater training. We're now coming into spring season, which you know what that means. That means showcases. Now all these showcases are being filmed and sent to us, which is really kind of convenient, I have to say. I kind of don't mind that at all. But some actors saying, I've gotten this great theater training, but I haven't gotten as much film and television training as I would like. Well, if that's the case, run, don't walk to getting some film and television training, some additional classes. That's something you can put on your resume. That's something that you can talk about at your agent meeting, saying, I had this fantastic theater training, but I'm also now aggressively working on my film and television auditioning. And then you can explain exactly what you're doing to do that, to accomplish that. That's an impressive answer for an agent or manager looking to somebody for film and television work, if that's your case. Another question that you might get is, who have you met within the industry? For example, what other casting directors have you met? What directors have you worked with? I know it might be on your resume, and that's really, really good, but the people that you've met within the industry, they might be able to talk well about you. So when you get that question, who else have you met? It's not a question to probe. It's a question to find out where they can get and secure meetings for you. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just about providing information. It's about the agent is now starting to think about what strategy might work really well for you, especially as it comes to meeting those film and television casting directors that might be interested in you. And so that agent has all of this information. They know what their client list is. They know what the breakdowns are, what roles, what jobs are available and coming up. So they are already starting to see if you fit in to that agency. And so that's why having a good idea about those people that you've met and that you can talk well about, that's really an important thing to feel comfortable with as well. So the other question is the agent asking you, do you have any questions? Does that make sense? Yeah. So that agent's going to ask you, what do you have questions about? Don't dismiss that. That's not just a way of them deflecting. That's a way to find out a little bit more about where you are at, where your head is at. And the question becomes, what are they looking for when you answer or are asked that question? Well, first and foremost, can you carry a conversation in a friendly, professional manner? That's kind of just basic, right? They want to get an impression about who you are. And so your casual nature, maybe your light-hearted sense of humor, maybe you feel at ease and comfortable, maybe you're not coming across as overly nervous about this. Those are all indicators for an agent about where you are. And so just simply being able to carry a friendly conversation has really a strong level of impact because they want to get an impression about you. So think about the reality of what that conversation might be about. So they also want to know if you have an idea about what's taking place within the industry and market. Now, this is not an easy thing as well. When they're having a conversation with you, they really want to know where your head is at. So if you can perhaps talk very smartly about what shows you know are shooting now that you think you are right for, boy, that's a great kind of conversation to have. And that's what agents are interested in. Where are you in terms of your business? Ooh, here's a good word, acumen. Look that up. They want to know how savvy you are in the business. And so being able to talk very succinctly and intelligently about what you know is happening out there is really a helpful impression that you can leave that agent or manager with. And also don't forget that you're helping them with their assessing your castability. I don't know if that's a word. I'm going to use it anyway. Because when you can help them with how you should be cast, that is really a nice direction for them and a really good focus for that agent or manager to put you in. It puts you in a place that says this person knows the roles. This person knows where they see themselves, and it seems right and logical. That's really an impressive thing that takes place. And then, of course, the roles are going to be reversed. What questions should you ask? What are the kinds of questions that you can bring to the table that would be really, really helpful? So, number one, don't ask about their current clients. I mean, that's not really helpful information, right? Because if they answer the question, like if you asked, how many clients do you have? You know what? What happens if you are given an answer? What do you do with that information? And what is that implying? You see what I'm saying? It doesn't go anywhere. So be careful about asking about their clients. If they're volunteering, well, we have so-and-so and we like to work with so-and-so, then that's their, sharing that information with you. But it's not really relevant to you to know their clients. But here's the next one that is relevant to you. To ask, how do you like to work? Asking that agent how they should stay in touch with you and how you should stay in touch with them. Do they like it for you to reach out on a regular basis, a weekly basis, a bi-monthly basis, whatever it is? How do you like to work is a really smart, great question to ask that agent. That puts you in a really professional light because that agent will be really happy to be able to answer that. And whatever answer they give you, obviously you want to stick to it. So the bottom line is that this should feel like a good fit. If it is a meeting that seems to go really well, maybe you're not sure. Maybe you think, I feel good about it, so let's just see what happens. I think that's kind of the right attitude to have. But what is the next step? The next step is whether you freelance or sign with that agency. I mean, I could do an entire podcast on that, but just to kind of, send the note home, to bring the story home. Usually a trial period is the best idea, and that means that you're going to date. And by dating, I mean freelance, right? It's better to have a situation or an agreement than let's just try this out. I'll send you out some auditions and you'll go to those auditions and maybe I'll get some feedback on your auditions. Those are the kind of things that really can help. And so don't expect, oh my God, we have to sign you right now because you're just so incredible. Let everything sort of take its course and be the way it should be, and don't rush into any decisions. That's why dating is a little bit better before you decide to get married, right? Okay, good. And then finally, don't decide on the outcome. It's important that you take a breath. You know that there's some breathing time. Don't make a decision right at that first meeting, even if they are offering, wonderful things to you. You need to take time. You need to take time to research. You need to take time to reach out to those people who are good resources for you. And that can make a really good difference. And know that a first meeting does not usually come with an immediate decision from you or the rep, the agent or the manager. A good decision is going to be something that you both spend a little time thinking about whether it is a good fit. So let that happen. The best meetings happen when you are genuinely interested in the agent and their journey. Remember, you're not being grilled, but you're being looked at as part of their team that is already in place. So therefore, be a team player and enjoy the ride, please. Now, see, that wasn't so bad, right? So let me know how your agent meeting went, if you have one. I would love to hear about it. I sure hope now you will feel more prepared, confident, and ready for the next big step in your career. That's it for today's episode of Casting Actors Cast. I'm Jeffrey Dreisbach. Please come back and join us once again, will you? I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Casting Actors Cast is made possible with your support just by listening. Please like, share, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.